evening, and yes, I'd like to thank Carol and Frank and everybody for inviting me here. It is a great pleasure to be here. And what I would like to do for you this evening is to give you really an insight into the context of many of the areas that we're going to be hearing about and already have heard about this weekend. Because we hear much about conspiracy, we hear much about conspiracy theories, conspiracy fact, but where does it really come from? What does it mean when you stand back and you see it in a wider perspective? Because one of the problems that we have in trying to convince the world that there are conspiracies occurring is that the media, the mainstream, will always say, well, if things like that were really going on, we would know about it. It would have happened before. Well, of course, these things have been happening, in fact, since history began. And so when you look back at where conspiracy thinking began, you will very quickly realize the kinds of things that we are concerned about today have been going on for many centuries. And of course, the problem that we have is that it is still not recognized. And the other problem that we have is that the technology has changed. And now, of course, that the ultimate dream of a conspirator can now be more easily realized. And that is the danger. But at the same time, that technology can be used to balance it. So I'm going to today look back through a conspiracy history of the world. We cannot cover everything, of course, and I'm going to pick out some fairly mainstream areas because they are the conspiracies that are in the public consciousness. And there will be, for everything I mention, 100 other viewpoints, 100 other things I could say and include. I am simplifying, of course, but it's interesting to see the patterns that unfold as time goes by. So I begin with this symbol because, of course, we see much about this in the conspiracy world, the all-seeing eye, or the eye of providence, as it's really known. And let's see that in its proper context.